If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
Welcome to Uncluttered and Unfiltered, the podcast urging you to let it go and don't look back, with nationally acclaimed professional organizer Christine Stone and self-proclaimed hot damn mess radio and TV personality Eden Kendall.
Welcome, everyone, to Uncluttered and Unfiltered, the podcast for women over 50. Christine Stone is a professional organizer, and I'm Eden Kendall, and we've been waiting very patiently for this episode. This is the one that we get the recap of when Christine went to take care of her grandson while her granddaughter was brought into this world. She goes by the grandma named Cece. So this is Cece's Big Adventure. And you even had to go through some training before you took on this very important role.
Yeah, well, the first thing I was sent, I think it was a 2 or 3 page document that she shared with me in notes. And as I was reading it, I loved it because it let me know a lot of things he doesn't like. Not what he does like, because I know what kids like. So that part I skipped through. But what he doesn't like. So it was funny. So what did I do? I printed it and brought it with me. Because why? Because I'm over 50.
Yeah.
So I still print things. So I printed it and brought it with me. I had it ready to go. So my husband made fun of me because we had a scheduled C-section. And I, of course, you could go ahead and laugh at me, already had my bag packed. And he said to me, like 2 weeks before before she was going to do it. And he said, "You're not having the baby. Why is your bag already packed?" And I said, "Because I don't live there. And if I have to jump on an airplane, I can't start packing a bag. I'll be too crazy." Of course, he laughed. Okay, everybody laughs at me. That's fine. So she had a scheduled date. And I kept saying to her, "I'm warning you, we need a plan B because I have to get on a plane. So you can't just have me as your plan A. We have to have a plan B." "Mom, it's fine. We're already at the end. We're only 4 days away." And here's me. I had not had my hair colored in 2.5 weeks. So I was so gray. So every day I kept saying, "Please, my darling granddaughter to be, just wait until Cece gets her hair colored. After that, come whenever you want." So I go on a Thursday. She's not scheduled till Monday. She goes to the doctor in the morning. "Oh, no, we're fine. We're all set for Monday." I said, "I still think she could come any day." No. Cece goes and gets her hair colored. Literally at 6:45 or 7 that night, I get a call, which, by the way, I knew immediately. I knew immediately what it meant. Her water broke. I said, "Oh, my granddaughter loves me more than anyone in the world. And she isn't even born yet because she let me get my hair colored." Anyway, so what did that mean? I had to go into action. And by the way I behaved, I think I could rule the world. I got on the last seat on the flight for the next morning. She ended up having to call a babysitter in the middle of the night, to come and stay until I got there. Thank God everything went well with the air travel and everything. Although I must say, when you're traveling alone, because my husband wasn't joining for a couple days, schlepping my suitcase, I mean, that right there is a backbreaker when you don't have anyone to help lift or do anything and you're having to do it all by yourself. Anyway, so the fun begins when Cece gets there. And he, of course, and I know because I'm a mom, they left in the middle of the night. So I knew he'd be off his
Yeah.
everything. I mean, he wakes up, there's a babysitter there. I'm coming. I mean, he knows something is not
Mhm.
right. So you have to, first of all, plan on that, which CC does, because I had shipped a bunch of things from Amazon before I came, like a week before I came. So this is a tip, everyone. Little things, not big, humongous presents. I mean, a bunch of little things so that every day he would have something new to entertain him, and it would be
Mhm.
new. It wouldn't be something he already had. So he gets up from his nap, and that's when CC's big adventure began. It was the funniest, weirdest 7 days of my life because for 1 week, I was brought back to being a mom again. I mean, packing lunches, taking him to school, taking him to the grocery store with me, getting in the car, cart at the grocery store, getting a cookie, a sprinkle cookie, so he could eat it. Well, I mean, it was hilarious because you forget. You forget, and it's something you definitely it's like riding a bike, except you're older and you don't have the bendable ability to your body to lift him in and out of the cart, to get him in the car seat, you know what I mean? It's all
Sure.
the same, except your back's not the same, your neck's not the
Yes.
same, your shoulder strength isn't the same, but anyway.
Plus, you know what? You build that as they grow. So if you're only here there intermittently, you're not
Right.
going to get that. It's one thing if you're lifting a child every day and as they're getting bigger, you're getting stronger. You're just like, here you go. He's a toddler now. Have at
Right,
it.
right, and that's kind of what they did. We just had to be thrown into it because
Mhm.
it didn't go the way we had all expected it, so I just tried to keep him busy because my husband was coming the next morning, and my daughter says, "Hey, if you want to keep him busy, he has a birthday party tomorrow. You and dad can take him to the birthday party." I said, "Oh, okay. Where's it at?" She goes, "Oh, it's in the neighborhood." Okay, fine. So, and she goes, he really wants to go. I go, well, if he really wants to go, we're going to take him. Now, I told my husband we have to take him to a kid's birthday party. I just have to tell you, if anyone could have been a fly on the wall, I took so many videos just because I had to send them to my daughter to document everything because it was so funny. So that night, of course, he gets up in the middle of the night. That's another thing that you forget. Okay. And I knew he would get up in the middle of the night every night just because he's out of his routine. He's out of
Mhm.
everything. And I was fine with it. So what did I do? I went in there and I said, okay, you have to go back to sleep because we have so and so's birthday party tomorrow. Well, that was all I had to say. And he goes, okay. And he rolled over and went back to sleep. So now I couldn't get out of the birthday party. No how,
Oh.
no way. No way that was happening because my husband looked at me at one point and said, "Should we really go?" And I go, "Oh, I don't have a choice now. That was my bribery at night
Your
to go back to
credibility
sleep."
would
Yeah,
be shot.
right. So we get in the car. First of all, the car seat's a whole nother thing because they don't make them like they made them back in our day. I mean, it's like rocket science to figure out these car seats, and they swivel and they move. And he basically was like, "Cece, no, it goes here." And he's telling me how to, because I don't know. So I'm listening to him tell me how to connect the car seat. No, this strap goes through here, Cece. I'm like, okay. So anyway, we have the address on our phone going, and we're driving and we're driving. I'm like, she said it was in the neighborhood. We keep driving. I go, this is not in the neighborhood. We must be going to the wrong place. So he goes, well, let's just keep driving and see where the address she gave us takes us because it was on the invitation. Well, well, well. It's not. I kept thinking, oh, it's probably a cute little backyard neighborhood party. No, we pull up and it's one of those gymnastics, bouncy house, balls in a pit, running around, screaming place. Now, I hated to go to those places when my kids were young. I couldn't stand them, but
Same.
I would do them, but I really, really, really tried to avoid them if the kids didn't absolutely wanna go, because I just couldn't stand those places.
Yes, I
Well,
remember wondering why my mom always got a headache at those places, and then I
yes,
remembered, or I realized later why, because they give you a headache.
they give you a headache, and so I didn't know it was at one of those places, so it was still very hot where where she lives, and I didn't wear socks, and you have to take your shoes off. Well,
Oh.
my husband had socks on. He had socks on, my grandson, but I didn't have socks on. So I immediately am like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna get every staph infection, MRSA, everything." But I couldn't be the only one with my shoes on. They don't let you wear shoes because there are all these mats on them. Oh god, just talking about it is giving me the creeps. So anyway, he goes running off immediately, and I'm, like, following him around, right? No one else is all by the way, all the other parents could care less what they're doing, where they're at. They're sitting on their phones, no problem, like, not worried, and I am literally following around my grandson like a crazy person because he gets into those balls and they're, like, covering his head, and I'm like, "Oh my god, he's gonna suffocate, someone's gonna step on his head." There's my husband sitting on his phone, like, looking at his phone because there's a football game on, and I tape it showing my kids, "I'm having flashbacks of your childhood," because he's doing the same exact thing he did when you guys were young. He's watching the football game on it, but it wasn't a phone, he would listen to it, like,
Yeah.
on a radio. So, anyway, so I finally tell him, "We can't go in those balls because I'm worried someone's gonna jump on top of you." Okay, so he doesn't go in the balls. Meanwhile, a little girl is getting suffocated in the balls, and she's screaming for her mom, and her mom's not paying attention, so I had to go rescue someone else's kid out of the balls, right? I grabbed her out, I pulled her out, she's crying, and she went and ran to her mother. So now I'm rescuing other people's kids. So then he's running around with all his friends. They're running around. Then they get to the bounce house, and this one little boy like starts body slamming everyone like he's a WWE wrestler. And I'm like, oh my God, he's going to break his arm while she is in the hospital after surgery. And now I'm going to have to take him to the hospital, and we're going to have to get a cast. It's going to be a nightmare. My husband finally says, "You have got to relax. You've got to let him be who he is and stop hovering." I'm
Do
like,
you even know me, Mitch? Do you even know me?
I said, "I can't help it." And he goes, "Well, you're going to have to help it because you're hovering and it's not healthy. He's a little boy." And then I remembered that's why I'm crazy, because I had girls. They didn't
Yes.
they didn't like to do this stuff. They didn't body slam each other. They didn't do the things these boys are doing because it was all boys and like one girl. So that made me realize this is why I'm anxious, because this is what boys do, and I didn't have boys.
Yes, I
Anyway,
was given that talk too by my husband because I didn't have brothers.
okay.
So, yeah, I know you had brothers, but you didn't have sons, so
But
yeah.
I didn't have brothers. But okay, first of all, I think it was a different day and age. Like, I don't remember. We didn't have bounce houses. We didn't
Mhm.
have those. We didn't have that kind of stuff. When you went to a kid's birthday party, it was a backyard birthday party.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's it. There was no other really kind of birth until you got to be like, I don't know, a teenager, 12, 13, 14. But when you were this age, it was someone's little house with.
Mhm.
So then, now, by the way, this is the first birthday party he had been to that was like this. He had never been to any other birthday parties. So we get in, it's cake time. Everyone goes running like a pack of wolves to the little cake birthday. And him and this other little friend are just standing there. Everyone's taking all the seats. And I'm like, they don't know. He's 2.5. He doesn't know where to sit. So I have to like go, okay, this is where we sit. This is what we do. I'm like, this is your little juice box. My husband is like, it, because no other parents are doing this. There is not a soul around that is doing this. So then they said to the parents, "Do you want cake?" And of course, all these other men don't want cake. my husband's like, why aren't they eating cake? Like,
Because they're carbs. Can't have the carbs.
Right. He's like, I always eat cake at birthday party. I go, well, do you want some? Well, no, not if nobody else. So this became a thing. Why aren't they eating cake? And I'm like, well, it's a different time. They're not going to get that sugar. Like you said, the sugar and the carbs, whatever. We got back from that birthday party so exhausted, and we still had like 3 more hours to entertain him because the birthday party, didn't end at 5:36 and ended early. That's the part you don't realize is the amount of entertaining you have to do to it. You do because you had a boy.
Uncluttered and Unfiltered is supported by Hearts for Minds. Mental health doesn't have to be a silent struggle. Hearts for Minds is changing the conversation, breaking stigma, and building bridges to better mental health care. Through QPR training and awareness programs, Hearts for Minds is equipping communities with the tools to recognize warning signs and connect people to life-saving support. Whether you're facing a crisis or just need someone who understands, Hearts for Minds is your helping hand. Hearts for F-O-U-R, minds.com. That's heartsforminds.com, and join the movement. Together, we can save lives. But here's the other part of it too, because in another episode, we talked about resting, needing a rest.
Yep.
When you have a toddler or an infant, there's no rest.
No rest. No rest at all.
Unless they're resting,
and that was another thing. The week we came, he had just gone down to a 1-hour nap, and she was on a schedule. So by the time I put him down, I had to run back up there and get up, and everything was upstairs. And so going up and down, and I didn't have the heart to tell her that my foot had been bothering me. And I got in with the doctor after the trip to like get an injection. I didn't want to bother her with that. So here I am going up and down this. I'm on my Celebrex. I mean, like literally I'm putting like, salon paws on the top of my feet, like salon paws on my back, on my shoulder. We're like, between Mitch and I, we have so many salon pauses on us that we look like weirdos. Okay. Because
the pain patches.
The pain patches. So anyway, you're going up and down those stairs, which is a whole nother ordeal. But my daughter kept saying, and then you could take him here. And I go, honey, is there any way we can just hang out with them and go to the park in the neighborhood and not take him somewhere? Because I think young parents, they can take them, you can go to the museum, you could go to the zoo, you can go to, and by the time you get them ready at 2.5, you are so exhausted because you have to have everything there. It's not like a 5 or 6-year-old. It's the whole prep work. So anyway, it was the entertaining, and then, keeping the routine, the bath routine, the book routine. Every night we had to read the no hitting book.
Oh,
every night, the no hitting book, because we were learning on why you don't use your hands, and we'd ball them up in a big fist and then release them for relaxation.
Is that right? Is that right? Okay.
That's right. And then
I need the no hitting book?
The no hitting book. And hey, the book works. So you got to love the book. And then the C-section book on why mommy can't hug or lift or do anything. Well, she can hug, but she can't lift anything. So every night I had to read and these are books he picked out. Same two, every night.
It was his idea.
Oh, every night. I'd say, go pick out your books. And every night it was the no hitting book and the mommy's C-section book.
I did not know there's a mommy got a C-section book.
Yes,
now
of course.
I know.
There's
a book for everything.
There's a book for everything. So then the next morning, my husband decides, let's go out to breakfast on a Sunday for brunch. Okay. Well, let's just say on Sunday at brunch, like 11 o'clock, every restaurant was an hour wait. You know what I mean? And I kept saying, let's just go home and I'll make him some pancakes. No, my husband was determined. So we drove from restaurant to restaurant. Finally, my grandson said, no more driving. No more. Yeah. No more driving. I said, he can't take it anymore. Let's just go home. No, we'll get into this one last one. So by the time he thought we were leaving and getting back in the car, he said, no more driving. And he started crying. I said, my husband is still in old man time. We're okay. We'll wait an hour. We have a 2.5-year-old toddler. You can't just wait. So I think you forget that you can't just do what you normally do as an older person.
Right.
You have to work around their schedule. So anyway, then my husband would take him to the park for like 2 hours. Finally, he came back and he goes, I don't think I'm going to be able to walk tomorrow. I said, why? He said he wanted to play tag and I didn't want to say no. So we just ran and I chased him for like 2 hours and I am in such pain. And I said, why did you do it for 2 hours? Because he wanted to. So I just think that the younger generation does not understand, like, this generation has kids in their 30s, which puts you in your late 50s, 60s, early 70s, and you are not who you were if I was 50 years old or 49. That's a whole different ball game. So going and kind of being a mom, a real mom without the mom there was a challenge. But you know what? I'm telling you, I have to be proud of myself. I said, you're going to suck it up and you're just going to be like a robot. You're not going to sit, you're not going to think about it. But the one thing that made me laugh the hardest, and that was when you texted me and you said, hey, do you think you could hop on a quick podcast on the phone? You know, it'll
To talk
only
about the Golden Bachelor.
to talk about the Golden Bachelor, only be like 15 minutes. I, in myself, was saying, she has no idea what we're going through over here. We are in another world. Like, we're hanging on by
Wait, let me
a
see if I can
thread.
find your response. I want to see if I can find the
I think
response.
I tried to be nice, but I was like,
You were like, there, yeah, but it was like a no effing way kind of response.
right.
But
Like,
it was like,
I mean, we were
I mean,
literally,
you were being nice. You were nice about it, but it was like pretty.
I mean, honestly, I had not even had time to wash my hair. I didn't like, my tip for anyone now, if you live where your grandkids live, it's a whole different story. I'm talking about if you travel to go out of town to see them. I mean, there are so many things I would give advice on. One, learn how to do the car seat before they leave or get instructions, because that we got so confused on that because the straps got all tangled. We couldn't figure out how to swivel it. I mean, that's my first thing. Learn the car seat. Next, I would say bribery works every time. Having those gifts hidden away in a closet worked like a charm, whether it was to go to bed, to take a bath, to get dressed for his little preschool, whatever it was. Having something new that he had never seen before, or having something he couldn't wait to get home to and play with, something new, was key.
Yeah.
Key. Only bring comfy clothes if you're traveling. I actually brought a normal pair of jeans, like with normal shoes. That was a joke. I was in sneakers and, like, athleisure, the whole entire time, and never changed outfits from the minute I woke up in the morning until nighttime, because you never got to sit for 5 minutes. Know ahead of time you're getting no sleep. So since you're getting no sleep, up your immune vitamins before you go, while you're there, and once you get home, because the chance of getting sick is like 99 out of 100, because you are so physically and emotionally exhausted by the time you leave. Now, one thing I can say, it was probably the most memorable trip I'll probably ever have the whole time, because normally the parents are around. You know what I mean? Normally
Yeah.
it's not us alone being in
Right.
charge. So we had, honestly, the most memorable trip with him alone, because he was an angel for us. My daughter didn't believe it, but he was an angel for us. And when they got home with a brand new baby, that shifted 150, which I told her is going to happen because you're bringing a new baby into the house and he doesn't understand. So having that time alone with him without anybody else there, I have to say was priceless. And we're only now looking forward to him getting older and older and older where we can actually go and do a lot more fun things. But being a grandparent at 63, I mean, that is not for the weak. It is
No,
not for the
no.
weak. So this is what you have to look forward to, my podcast friend.
Okay. Well, I do look forward to it, but I do also think that it sounds very, very scary. And I did find your text, and it was basically, we are the cutest, most exhausted humans on the planet.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
it was a lot of work, but a lot of fun. And let's just say this, both of us for 24 to 48 hours didn't go out of the house. We just needed major recouping once we got home. But you know what?
and
It's
the
worth
thing
it.
is, those are really solid tips. Normally we do like an organizational tip, but those were such good tips that you gave. That there's no doubt in my mind too. And I know that you have gone up and helped them organize their house
Oh yeah.
before for both kids
Yeah.
to get ready for both kids. So, did you enjoy your time with your grandson, helping him put things away at the end of
Oh,
playtime and things
yes.
like
Oh,
that?
yeah. I mean, and he actually is really good at that. He likes picking up things and putting them back. Um, yeah. I mean, also, of course, while he was at his little school, I would reorganize things for her and, go to the grocery store, clean out the pantry,
Mhm.
do everything. So it's kind of nice when your mom's an organizer because you're going to come home from the hospital with things all done.
That
Or
is nice.
yeah.
That is very
So,
nice. Well, I'm glad you successfully conquered this big challenge, this big athletic feat.
yes.
And you and Mitch, you might have come through it in a battered and a bruised and foggy kind of dreamlike state, but you did it and you have
Yes.
fond memories
We
and you'll
did
always
it.
cherish it. And so good, good.
Yep.
Thank you for bringing us Cece's big adventure. That
Yes, it was definitely a big, and by the way, you never know what you can do until you're put in a situation to do it, meaning even the travel. I don't think I've ever booked travel and been ready to just jump on a plane to go somewhere that fast in my entire life, and I was a flight attendant. So that says something.
Well, I guess that brings us to this. We want to remind you that we do have our Uncluttered and Unfiltered Ladies Only Facebook group. Just search it out and ask to be let in, and we will let you in. We have all the other socials as well. And if you would share just share one episode with one friend, that would help us grow our community, which is just good for everyone. And we love doing that. And if there's ever an episode or a subject matter that you want us to cover, please do reach out and let us know. So I guess remember this: if you think that you have the energy and the strength to get through a week, 7 days with a toddler, that's an idea. Well, you should probably let it go.
And don't look back.
Awesome.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.